Hello, my name's Harry Tambuatco, but I'm not the person to listen to. Let's go back to George Balagtas. George, accusation, reality, we're not going to prove. Continue with your narration as we go into it. Tapos ano natin,
Yeah.
kilitasin natin.
Logically, there's nothing we can do. The public mind is such that it will listen to accusations, quote unquote, and then wait for reality or evidence, right? I myself have been very, very quiet. Because I was a very close friend of Butch Aquino, and even in college, we were all together listening to the wild stories of Ninoy, and even during the early stages of the anti-Marcos movement, I could not move because I was the vice chairman of McCann Harrison. I could not get out on the stage. I was always quiet, and I was always a witness. But unfortunately for me, I went into PR. And when I went into PR, I became the PR advisor of several people, including major politicians. And I have been on both sides of the cheating. And I can say to you that what we have today is a totally, absolutely, 100% corrupt system. Okay, now, let's go back. Noong 2013, okay, natira tayo ng 60-30. Okay? Tinanggap na naman natin. Total naman, okay na yan, magkakakampi-kampi yan, siguro magbabantayan niya, ganyan. But no, we went on, we continued the fight. Eto na naman, nagprotesta naman tayo. Pikos na naman. Wala na magkasawa sa ilang beses ba tayo dapat bugbugin sa daya niyan bago natin patigil yan. Pinatigil. Pinabid kunwari. Diyos Mario Joseph, hindi pa nga nakakasubmit ng bid yung kalaban, disqualified na rin. Smartmatic na rin ang ginamit dahil wala ng oras. Okay? Ganun na naman ang nangyari. Pero, maaga pa, taon pa lang, alam na natin na niluto na sa Malaysia yung source code. Okay? At ang lumuluto niyan, yung kumpanya ng chairman ng Maybank. Okay? Nandun na ang programa o sino dapat ipapanalo dahil liberal na talaga. Bakit? Tiga Malaysia yung Liberal Party head Hindi ba? Yan yung nagbigay. Meron na nga mansion sa Sabah. Binigay na nga yung Southern Mindanao natin. Di okay na lang. Tignan natin. Pagbigyan natin, baka naman maganda. Malay mo. Di ba? Puro ganyan
Linda.
tayo Tayo mga Pilipino Anyway, but eto na tayo.
So,
Eto ngayon 2016. I will just close this, no? Eto 2016, tinan mo na naman ang nangyari. Okay? They operated a 40 and 1. 40 and 10. Ibig sabihin, sa bawat 50 boto, pinapalitan yung 10. Okay? Yun yung sa senatorial level. So, makikita mo ngayon tuloy, na yung kaawa-awang tinitira mo palaging si Francis Tolentino, na pinakamasipag gumampanya sa buong Pilipinas. Okay?
Number 11.
Yung aming sinasurvey yan, consistent yan. Number 10, number 11, mga 3 weeks before election, pumalo na ng 7 and 8. Ang ganda. Inendorso ng Iglesia ni Cristo. Siya lang ang unang-unang dinoktrina ng Iglesia ni Cristo. Kasama ng Duterte sa lahat ng kanyang mga rally, stamping ng rally. Kadikit ng bongbong, kung saan-saan din sumasama yan. Sumasama din yan sa mga ibang mga independente, no? So, in other words, kitang-kita mo, hindi man ako campaign manager niya. Nakikita ko lang na mukhang malakas ang dating niyan in spite of the batikos ng isang commentator dyan sa kabilang channel ninyo, no? Bisaya din yung hype ninyo. Anyway, akalain mo nung pag-eleksyon, nung unang, napaka-phenomenal Nung unang bilang, number 13 siya. Awa ng Diyos, hanggang matapos yung bilang, number 13 pa rin. Hindi gumalaw. Ang galing talaga ng pagkapako. Whereas, yung Dilima, na kinampanya ng Iglesia ni Cristo na anyone but Dilima. Pasok na pasok.
Pumasok na
Pasok. Ang lamang ng mga ibang senador from 9 to 11, 40,000, 50,000. Ang lamang ng Dilima kay Tolentino, 1 milyon. Ang ganda naman nun. So, ang aking premise dito ko tatapusin. 3 eleksyon na mula noong 2010, ginagago tayo nitong Comelec. nagpalit na yung una si Melo ko na kinabang, tapos si Brillantes na kinabang. Ngayon etong pinsan ni Ninoy na ginawang COMELEC, dati naman itong galit na galit sa mga Marcos dahil diyan ang PCGG na lahat sinisikwester maski wala na sa authority niya, campaign manager pa siya ni Mar. Iyan na ngayon ang COMELEC chairman. O hindi ba kagaguhan yun? Hindi ba? Ngayon, eto na. Nahuli sa camera yung si
Marlon
Pogi.
Garcia.
Yung Marlon Garcia, yung gwapong-gwapong, kawawa mukhang tanga. Hawak-hawak nga yung, ano bang tawag
USB.
doon? Yung flash whatever. Sinusuksok niya doon sa mirror server. Tinitingnan lang siya yung mga tao. Yung mga tao nakatingin sa kanong takot. Ganito, anong ginagawa nito? Pinatigil muna yung bilang, 7:30 ng gabi. Matapos niyang isuksok kung ano man yung sinusuksok niyang kanya doon sa butas ng ewan, putya, eto na, ang angat ng Robredo talagang granado. Hanggang nung nagising ang tao, alas 9 ng maga, talo na si Bongbong. See?
Linda.
Eto na, tapos na to.
That's George.
We are the victims of institutionalized and continuous non-stop fraud. We are now. Paano mo tatanggapin sino man ang bunga nitong eleksyon na ito na puro daya ang inabot natin mula sa puno hanggang janitor.
Si Duterte ba kasama sa daya?
Let me explain.
Sige, Linda.
Pero ibang
Ikaw.
strategy.
Sige.
Let me explain. I want to connect yung mga sinabi ni George kung ano talagang pinakalayunin nitong 2016 elections. Iisipin natin, yung pinsan ni Noynoy na abogada, sinabihan siyang, pinsan, pag ikaw ay bumaba, tiningnan ko na, kinuwenta ko na 26 years kang in prison. Kasi lahat ng mga ginawa mong kasalanan, yung krimen, unconstitutional na mga gawa mo, yun ang darating sa iyo. So, from that time on, the family, the relatives, and the cabal around Noynoy already programmed. Kailangan, ang eleksyon sa 2016, siguradong hindi siya mabibilanggo. Dapat ang mananalo dyan, yung kanyang kasamahan. Or kung hindi yan magagawa, siya i-extend. So anong nangyari? Nagkaroon ng scenario 1, Plan A, Plan B,
Yung nabasa natin
Plan
sa dyaryo.
C, Plan D. So lahat yan nandyan. Now, sinasabi natin, Duterte's coming in will come in later, no? Because ang nangyari sa Plan A, o sige, daang matuwid, ituloy natin, parang ganyan. Kaya lang, hindi nila mapaangat-angat si Maroja, so they thought of another Plan B. Now, ano ang Plan B? Nakita na nilang mukhang tumataas si Duterte sa surveys. Kaya lang, if we remember, in 2010, ganun rin ang nangyari kay Penoy. Na, if we recall, we have in our possession, ang S4S, the series of email letters between Gloria and Ronnie Puno. Nag-negotiate sila sa Smartmatic at saka yung mga nakakaalam paanong dadayain yung eleksyon to make sure na yung kanilang kandidato, yun ang mananalo. So that's what happened. Ang napili nila eventually, of course, si Penoy na. We know already what happened. Kailangan ng 5.7 billion to make that operative. So kaya inutusan si Nantes na mag-produce. But when he was raided in Ilicong Island and then found out he had connections with drugs, pinatalo siya. And when he wanted to complain, di pinasabog yung kanyang helicopter. So he was the first casualty of that election. So what I'm trying to say is that handa silang pumatay para lang makuha yung kanilang layunin. But that's only going pa doon sa initial, that was only in 2010. So we go further ahead. So nakapanalo na nga, so andyan na si Peno because all the top 40 families or up to 250 families in the Philippines, yung elite, eco-political elite, were worried. Anong mangyayari kung hindi manalo yung kandidato? So inayo si Gloria at saka si Noynoy. That's why naging merong resulta yung Smartmatic. May dinagdag na 5 million votes. That's our assessment, analysis, and what we have seen in the course of investigating. So kung may dinagdag in 2016, 2010. Ngayon, 2016, meron ding dinagdag. So, beneficiary si Duterte. Now, what are we trying to say? Alam ba niya kung ano yung mangyayari and etc.? Now, we have information that si Penoy and everybody knows, I think, about this, several days before the elections, kinausap niya si Grace po, nagpunta sila ni Maroha sa bahay, sinabing pwede kaya magkaisa na kayo, ang isa mag-withdraw. But it did not prosper. So, nagwala siya, naghidadadabog, and then nagsisisigaw, and etc. But then, what happened was that tinawagan siya. He was so worried. He did not like Duterte's continuing rise. So, tinawagan siya. From our information, intelligence information from our military connections, tinawagan ni Joe Masison, si Noynoy. And sinabihan, don't worry, kami ang bahala. Nothing will happen to you. So, ipagpatuloy ng kahit si Duterte ang manalo. And then, we have also additional information that Ronald Llamas said, don't worry, hindi ka gagalawin ni Duterte. So, in other words, nagkaroon ng agreement, ipagpatuloy na yung Duterte. But to make sure na in case pumalag siya, kailangan by hook or by crook atin yung vice president. So, kung may liquidation squad si Duterte, meron ding liquidation squad yung Malacanang. So that if Duterte does not follow or something happens, there is this very popular already notion, accepted na ng mga taong bayan, he's going to be assassinated. That's why takot siya pumuntang Maynila, nagtatago sa Davao eh. Baka siya ma-assassinate before the oath-taking. So that is the reality now. Now, when we look at the elections, we look at it only yes, we look at it from the point of view of the procedure, the processes, and the protocols, but we look also at the elections from the point of view of a very broad objective, and that's the underlying motive. Why they have to win this election and make sure they have it completely under control. That's why the elections is not yet over. Even if there is a proclamation, as long as, until hindi nakakasigurado si Penoy na magkakaroon ng libre na hindi siya i-incarcerate or hindi siya mapafile ng kung anong charges for all his crimes as president, including his treason involving Malaysia and China, dapat hindi nila yan pakawalan. So they're still there watching all of these things. So that is the reality we have to face now. That's why as far as solidarity for sovereignty is concerned, we cannot accept this kind because they are trampling on the sovereign will of the people. And what happens to our solidarity to our sovereignty now? It's in tatters. It's not even being followed. Kawawa tayo now.
Let's make it clear because we're starting to speak euphemistically, okay? For 3 elections, we have been subjected to proven corruption, deceit, okay, and pandaraya. For 3 elections, okay, non-stop. The reaction of the people is, pagbigyan na lang, tignan na lang natin ano magagawa. Okay? Eto na naman tayo ngayon. This is the 3rd time. Now, you ask the question, paano si Duterte? Duterte is the product of a poison tree. Even admittedly, very popular. Now, his popularity is very clearly the result of the people's anger. The people have elected a person who can say things that they want to say but cannot. They've elected a person who has claimed that he can do things that they cannot. He has admitted that he will kill, but the people cannot. Our people are afraid. They are very, very angry. They are very, very brave when they're just talking among themselves. But when push comes to shove, and the administration shows its muscle and starts to stamp down, everything becomes quiet. Why? Because the business elite will say, huwag na kayo manggulo. Anyway, our economic ratings are going up, our international tuba, our exchange rate is going up, etc. Pumagsak na ang dollar, patas na ang peso ngayon. Okay, so maganda. But that cannot be allowed to continue to deceive the people. We have been deceived for 70 years. We have not yet even begun to move towards our sovereignty. when can we learn to be a people? Sabi nga ni Ramon, we are not yet a people. We are, in fact, against each other. And the leadership of this country will continue to do everything to make sure that we will be against each other, so that we will not look at the leadership. We will not look at the system that makes us stupid. We will look at each other. Ay, ikaw makadilaw ka. Ay, ikaw makamarcos ka. Halika, laban tayo. Total, wala namang mangyayari. Pero tignan niyo yung gumagawa nito sa atin. Sila yung nakikinabang, patuloy ang pagyaman, bilyonaryo, nasa Honolulu ngayon yan, si Krita, dito yan si Tridolianes, kung sino man na nandun dyan. Nandun dyan sila, nagpapakasasa sa dugo natin. Habang tayo dito nagbabakbakan dahil naniniwala na tayo dahil sa, sige, subukan natin. How many times must somebody cheat you until you say that you're stupid? You know? I don't want to say our people are stupid. Our people are looking for leadership. Our people are looking for people who will take up the torch and say, halika na, I will lead, will you follow? Ito ngayon produkto natin, hinaharap natin. Nagbabangayan sa social media. O, hindi, tanggapin nyo na. Ito na, si Robredo, bongbong ka nang umungol. Ako nga nanalo dyan, accept na with grace. I even think that Robredo is a very nice woman. You know, maganda naman itsura.
May I object to that?
Pagka-sexy. Hindi na, huwag ka nang magano dyan.
No, may I add later
Hindi, sandali lang. Ibig sabihin kasi, ang ibig kong sabihin, tayong taong bayan, we are looking at the wrong qualities for leadership. Hindi tayo, and we should not be looking at the individual. We should be looking at the system that continues to make us stupid. You know, we should remove that system now. We cannot wait for tomorrow. We cannot say na, kawawa naman yan. Tapos na pabayaan mo na, let him go in peace. He cannot go in peace. Because he has planted the seeds of wrath. He has planted the seeds of corruption. He now has to stand up and reap the whirlwind. He has to reap the fruits of whatever he planted. Mama Sapano, Yolanda, PEDAP, lahat yung mga pinagnanakaw nila, hindi na natin maiisip, ibalik ang yaman para tayong ulul na parot. Hindi na. Papanagutin yan. At kung ano ang kaparusahan dapat harapin yan, papanagutin yan. Kung ano man yan. Treason Wala na.
Hindi. Dagdagan ko lang yung sinasabi niyang papanagutin na yan. We are saying also, pigilan na, stop all of this. This kind of electoral process that is dumbing down the Filipino people, itong pandaraya, yung proseso na pinapabayaan ng mga nasa taas na magpatuloy, binabaliwala lang nila. So anong sasabihin nila? Wag na nating pakinggan. Nag-protest noon, sabi nga ni Pangilinan, noted lang. Pag nag-protest si Bongbong Marcos ngayon, sige maghintay na lang kayo sa HR 18 na kayo. Wag na kayo magrereklamo ngayon. And then we keep quiet. We have been keeping quiet. That's why nagkakaganito, bumabagsak at bumabagsak ang tunay na kalidad at dignidad ng Pilipino. So nawawala yung sinasabing kasarinlan o soberania. So that's where we are saying we have to put a stop to this. And when we say we put a stop to this, hindi ito pwedeng sa salita lamang. Oh, okay, it's good, we are able to air out. Pero hindi lang dapat hanggang sa ganito. For the past 6 years, we studied the political situation in our country and then the processes at saka yung mga ginagawa ng nasa taas. So, because of that, we slowly built our constituency all over the country. So we are ready now. What we are saying is that even yung halimbawa si Duterte ngayon, yung sa program niya and etc., dapat yun nailabas niya noon nung nagkakandidato pa siya. Ba't ngayon pa lang naghahagilap? And then although sinasabing magaganda yung iba niyang mga pinipili and etc., pero yung kanyang banner ay pagbabago, change. Wala tayong nakikitang pagbabago sa mga taong nakapaligid. Ano na yan? Mga dati na yan. Panahon pa yan, FBR. The FBR who brought us itong sinasabing IPP, Independent Power Producers, na hanggang ngayon nagbabayad tayo $1 billion a year sa isang foreign corporation because of sovereign guarantee na wala namang minamanufacture kahit isang kilowatt ng kuryente. So that's the kind of people that are still there. And
Yung
look at
sinasabi niya, kumpanya yun ang kaklase niya sa military academy sa States.
look at Esperon. He is again there in the middle of the Duterte camp. He was the one responsible. We asked him to be investigated during the time of Gloria. 60 million pesos worth of arms binenta niya doon sa pamilya sa Maguindanao who was the cause of the massacre. So, in other words, wala namang pagbabago. It's still there. Even the not only the people but the programs and the systems that are being used, walang pagbabago. Hindi yan makakasagot sa kagutuman at kahirapan ng ating sambayanang Pilipino. Hindi yan makakasagot sa bigas and
Can we bring it
etc.
forward? Okay,
so
we have bashed them enough. Now what do we do for moving on forward? Yun ang akin.
Yeah.
So-
What do we do?
We got 3 minutes.
Oh.
You said you're ready. You want everybody to stand up.
Yes,
What do you want? A revolution?
yes,
How do we start it? You will lead?
yes.
You will walk out now?
yes.
So from this TV station, we'll walk out and carry the torch?
Well,
No, we are at the point of
We are at the point.
we will be calling out on
We are calling
everybody. We will be
I
calling.
want to say this. I want to say
You want
this.
this going to happen in about 1, 2, 3 days?
If we told
We
you that,
will not tell you
if we told
exactly
you that,
when.
we are asking the powers now to say, sige, ibangan nyo na lang kami sa labas. Wag ganon, hindi ganon, but soon.
No.
So-
Okay? Sooner than what you expect. I want to say this. It is very specific, explicit in our Constitution that the sovereign right, the sovereign
It's with the
authority
people.
rests with the people.
But the people have been dumbed down.
Okay, that's it. Now, when all reasonable conversations have been exhausted and all reasonable negotiations have been exhausted.
It's all action.
as
Consequence na lang.
It has been exhausted for the past 30 years. We have been patient with these oligarchs.
Correct.
And our brothers in the uniform have been very obedient to the oligarchs, to the landed people, the landed families, the powers that are controlling this economy. Our business people are lapdogs of the political leadership because that is where they get their behest. We've done it 30 years. That method has failed. And we address our brothers in the uniform. It is time for you to face your responsibility under the Constitution and protect the Filipino people and protect the Philippine nation from a continued abuse of this type of people, which is continuing because of their corruption that they've institutionalized at the expense of our freedoms. We call on our people to please learn to be a proud people. Stand up. We have a country. Let us make our country sovereign and proud. We are not the poor country that's to be laughed at as one of the most corrupt in the world. We are not. We're not. We are a noble nation. We have had our own laws even before the Spaniards came here. We're a noble people. Let us dig down deep and show our nobility. And I'm asking the ordinary people, let's dig down deep and find our courage. Let's not hide in the safety of our homes. Let's stand up for our rights now.
There's nothing left to say. I think that's more than enough. I'm not flabbergasted. I agree with most of the points. If you wish to contest it, that's your call. If you wish to follow it, you need to listen. As for communication guidelines, where, when it's going to happen, I guess it's going to be instantaneous somewhat and it'll just ignite. So take it from there. Nanahimik po ako kasi ano pong masasabi ko doon? Maraming salamat po.
Thank you also.
You're very welcome. I enjoyed
You are what you watch.